Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day, where we continue our recitation from Gauri Purbi, Mahalla Chautha. This particular passage appears first in the Kirtan Sola Bani, and here it is repeated with just minor modifications, one being the title itself, which in Sola reads Rag Gauri Purvi Mahalla Chautha, and here reads Gauri Purvi Mahalla Chautha, and then there are a couple of words with a different spelling, but other than that, it reads pretty much the same, and this is just meant as information. So the recitation of the Shabad is as follows. Gauri Purbi Mahalla Chautha, Kaam Karodh Nagar Bahu Bharia, Mil Sadhu Khandal Khanda Hai, Purab Likhat Likhe Gur Paya, Man Har Lev Mandal Manda Hai. कर साधु अंजलि पुन वड्डा है, कर दंडौत पुन वड्डा है रहाओ, साकत हर रस साध ना जानिया, तिन अंतर हव में कंडा है, ज्यों ज्यों चल है चुबे दुख पाव है, जम काल सह सिर डंडा है, हर जन हर हर नाम सुमाणे, दुख जन्म मरण पव खंडा है, अविनाशी पुरख पाया परमेश्वर, बहु शोभ खंड ब्रह्मंडा है, हम गरीब मस्कीन प्रभ तेरे, हर राख राख वड वड्डा है, जन नानक नाम आधार टेक है, हर नामे ही सुख मंडा है. The passage speaks about the body-mind as being a township that is filled with desire and anger. And in a larger context, the Shabad is also about what is the right course of action, or the right kind of worship, or the right way to live life. And it all boils down to self-realization, walking with hukum. So Kaam Karodh Nagar Bahu Bharia, the township of the body-mind, Nagar, is filled with desire and anger. In other words, we have passions within us that drive us. They have a hold on us, as we know. Mil sadhu khandala khanda hai. So the Guru is saying, break their hold, scatter them into pieces by keeping the company of the perfected ones, here referred to as the sadhu. Sadhu comes from the word sad, which means to perfect or to manifest. So here it is also used for the Guru, the Satguru, the enlightener, because the Satguru is a perfected mind. So break the hold of these passions that drive you hither and thither, and have a hold over your mind and body. And then, Purab likhat likhe gur paya, man har lev mandal manda hai. Wisdom is received by making the resolve to turn to the Gur. Purab likhat likhe gur paya. And when the cloth of the mind is scented in the color, meaning the love of the herself, then the passions are dissipated. And in the Rahau, the highest virtue is Kar Sadhu Anjali Punavadda hai. In all humility, with fold Anjali is to fold your hands, which is a sign of humility, with folded hands, receive and ask for wisdom from the sadhu. Not only that, but also prostrate to the sadhu. In other words, bend down and like a rod make obeisance to the sadhu. Now these are two very symbolic acts in the Indian traditions, signifying humility. So in utter humility, beg for wisdom from the sadhu. Now, the problem is that most of us are what the Guru calls sakat, doubters, deniers. We are skeptical. We don't quite believe all of this. And so the Guru says, sakat har a-sabad na jannya. The faithless deniers and doubters, skeptics, they cannot know the taste or the truth of the Har Self. Why? Tin antar haume kanda hai, because their haume, the self-pride that we all carry, our pride, is a thorn in our flesh. Antar haume kanda, it's like a thorn. What does it do? Jyon jyon chalhe chubbe. The thorn of haume pricks and pushes deeper with every step. Jyon jyon chalhe chubbe. And what does that do? It makes life disagreeable. Dukha pame. That's the result. And sakats live constantly in the fear of death, because that is what we are most afraid of. Not simply physical disintegration, but death of any kind, whether it's social death as well. We are so attuned to self-preservation of something that we really know little about. But that's the constant fear, the anxiety of self-preservation. So the Guru says, Dukha pave, Jamakal sahe, sir danda hai. Jamakal, the agent of death, the fear of death, is constantly upon you. Here addressing the sakat, the skeptic. And now he turns to what the Harjan does, the devotee of Hari, the self. Harjan, Har naam samanne. Devotees of the Har self overcome that sorrow and fear of death through Harinam, self-knowledge. So devotees of the Har self overcome that sorrow and the fear of death. Dukh janam maran pav khanda hai, khinder ditta, through self-knowledge. Har har naam samanne. And what happens then is they find the imperishable and all-permeating Supreme Being. Avinasi purkh paya Paramesar. And what is that Paramesar like? Bahasob khanda brahmanda hai. Its brilliance, its wisdom spreads throughout the universe. It is homogenized in the very creation that we live in. It is the very fabric of the universe, this wisdom. And that it is brilliant, it is radiant throughout the universe. Here you have a hint on how to live. And of course, in the spirit of humility, the Guru concludes by saying, Hum gareeb maskeen prabh tere. We are impoverished. We are deprived without you, O Prabh. Prabh here signifying wisdom of the inner self. Har rakh, rakh vad vadda hai. O Har self, vad vadda, the greatest of the great, please protect us. Says Nanak, the knowledge of the Har self is the support and protection. Jana Nanak, Naam आधार, support, take, protection है. हर नाम में ही सुख मंडा है. Through self-realization is rest and comfort found. Beautiful small passage talking about the body-mind, metaphorically of course, as a township which is overrun with teeming hordes of lust and anger, Kaam Karodh. They eat away at our fabric. And this is a description of the mind-body that is frequently used in Gurbani and really refers to a mind that is wild, untrained, uncultured, and needs to be cultured. And the only way to do that is sadhu, mil sadhu, turning to the Guru. Now, turning to the Guru does not happen automatically. It requires resolve and determination to make that turn. Only then will the desired state be achieved. Purab likhat likhe gur paya. Now, Purab likhat is generally translated as preordained or pre-inscribed destiny. What that would imply is that if you're destined, you will find the Guru. But I think we need to take a somewhat different tack, because that can lead to a fatalism of sorts that says, well, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So look at the word Purab. It means the moment up to now, because a moment passes into the past no sooner that it happens. So Purab Likhat should be read as having made the resolve to turn to the Guru now. And then the mind is aligned with perfect wisdom. So make that resolve now, today, this instant. So striving for the Guru's wisdom becomes a moral imperative, and it is the highest good. So what is holding us back? That thorn in the flesh that constantly distracts. It's called haume, our ego pride. It is constantly preoccupied with desires which, we know, when they are left unfulfilled, fill the mind with the fog of anger, making life and living a rather disagreeable experience. And that is not what we want. Knowledge of the self is the moral compass for leading a life in tune with Hukam. On that note, until the next time, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.